you've just got to sometimes sit back and appreciate good rugby. Wasn't Ireland's best performance by any chance or any shot. Still, quality rugby across the board. Just how well they play together, how well they know each other, those combinations all working together. And even when they play poorly, when I say poorly, 16 handling errors, that's not Irish. That's not Irish of them. Still put 30 points on Wales. A little bit of credit goes to Wales. I feel like they did front up a lot in defense in stages. And they just keep coming. I think I only said Ireland by 10. Because I just knew Wales just keep rolling, keep coming. And they did. You have to give them a little bit of credit. But still, this Irish team, man, when you play poorly, and still win by 30 points, 20-something points, it says a lot, man. It says a lot. And even if you won, you only just won, and you still played poorly and only just won, it still means you're a world-class outfit. So I think sometimes you just got to sit back and be like, wow, this is a gun squad across the park. Like I said, the chemistry of those players, they all know exactly where to be, when to be there, who's making the clean out, who's that support player, who's running the options. And it's just good to watch, man. It's good to watch. Ireland 31, Wales 7. Ireland still with Grand Slam hopes alive. The only team now that has that hope alive, or that can still win the Grand Slam. But let's get into it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. We're going to get into it. I'm going to stick on Ireland. Obviously, they get into their systems like that. As soon as they get the ball, doesn't matter when they get the ball, how soon, where they are on the field, they're straight into their systems. Their forwards know there's 3 players, the front runner, or sometimes it's only 2 players, a ball carrier, short option, and then someone out the back. They get into that system of play or their structures right off the bat, like straight away get into it. They did, I think, early on, like in that first kind of 15 minutes, struggle to kind of break through the defensive line. Normally, they do 1 or 2 or 3, 4 phases, and they'll break through or get half a gap and kind of make meters, where I feel like Wales were super aggressive with their line speed and coming up really to meet them right where they are on attack. I thought, man, when they did get to the edges, though, is where they found space. Like Sheehan on the sides in those 15-meter lines, he's devastating. Because he's usually, when he gets the ball there, he's usually one-on-one with a winger or one-on-one with a fullback that's come around as the last defender, or one-on-one with the fly-off that they've hidden. The defensive team has hidden the fly-off around the back there. And Sheehan gets them one-on-one, I think twice, on both, one on the nearest side of the field and one on the further side of the field, where he's run over the top of that player. Like, you're not stopping him there. It's class that they structure their play to get those one-on-ones with a bigger body versus smaller body, and it works out every time. They opt to go for, I love this as well, that mentality of opting to go for touch instead of just for the 3 points. They know what they've come into. They want those 5 points, and that's it. I want my 4 tries and to win further than 7 points. And they did it. Kick to touch, get them all going. Dan Sheehan scores. Death taxes, Sheehan scoring a try. Those 3 things are for certain in life. And then they did it again. And when they got down in the first half, they got down into that attacking territory. Got a penalty, opted to go for touch. Didn't get the maul. Try. Settled that down. Couple of phases went wide. I think they went wide off the one phase. They couldn't get it there. They didn't score initially. And then what they do so well is they're patient then. They compose on attack. Just some teams get really flustered, especially when you're right on the try line, attacking. You play your move wide, you don't score there, then everyone's like, oh, fuck, we should have scored. But they bring it back slowly again, and they know when to go wide again. And James Lowe scored in the corner. So composed on attack, man. So composed. 17-0 at halftime, and Rightly so, man. Rightly so. They had all the possession, all the territory, and really kind of slowly just built into that game. It didn't help that Wales were giving away easy penalties. You can't give this Irish team anything, let alone easy penalties for them to just march down the field. Bundy Aki's try disallowed. The callback for the knock-on. The ref thought there was a forward pass, but then the TMO said it was a knock-on. It's almost a grey area in a way because the ref thought it was a forward pass. So it was in the act of passing. Henshaw went to put his hand out. The ball hit his arm. So it could have been a forward pass or a knock-on. Either way you look at it. So I'm not too sure. Again, it's around that grey area of, is the TMO allowed to say more than what the ref has asked? I'll probably have to go dig deeper in the rule book for that because the ref said, "Oh, we're just going back to look at a potential knock-on," and the TMO said, "No, it was a potential forward pass." So I don't know, like, is that a grey area? Can the TMO say that? I'm not sure. Anyway, the try was not given. And again, like coming back to that, giving little bits of credit to Wales, I felt like Ireland at patches struggled to break this Welsh defense. And that's credit to Wales. They were really aggressive with their line speed coming up. And again, like those 16 handling errors that the Irish had, don't just come out of nowhere. That comes from pressure. Yes, sometimes it'll be a loose pass or someone's just taken their eye off the ball, but it comes from pressure. But one thing I've learned that this Irish team do well is they're like, give me the pressure. Let's absorb the pressure. Continued phase play, continued ball in hand. The defense has got to break. No team can defend for a whole game with that amount of intensity. And they did. In the 66th minute, it finally did break. Frawley, the fullback that's coming for Keenan, crashes over under the post from a beautiful ball from Gibson Park. I said in the preview of the whole Six Nations, the way Gibson Park can jump out and like in a split second see where a player is coming from, hit that like triple skip pass and hit that wide runner there. And Frawley was untouched, went straight through. It's beautiful. Like Gibson Park is just, he dictates the speed, the intensity, the everything of Irish attack. Yes, Crowley obviously as well. From the 10, he's the orchestrator and tell everyone what to do. But without Gibson Park there, this Irish team is like 20, 30, 40% less of what they are. I think that's a fair statement. What do you guys think? I think that is. I do think around this time, around the 66-minute mark, even going a little bit further, even going a bit back, that I'm surprised that Wales didn't receive a yellow card that many times, just kind of giving away penalties at ruck time or coming offside, and I felt like the ref gave them a lot of warnings there. I thought that someone deserved a yellow somewhere there because then they flipped it. It went back down to Ireland's side of the field, and Ireland got given a yellow card, and Wales got a penalty try. And I know that was kind of a professional foul. It's something I'll get to now. But it's kind of like, well, how many penalties are Wales going to give away and Ireland they're not going to get given a yellow card? Then they come down to our side of the field. Ireland give, one or two penalties that were warned, but then get given a yellow. It's like I said, Wales gave away so many penalties around the ruck and around offsides, just around defensive mishaps or defensive penalties. Like I said, Ireland's not their best outing by a long shot. 16 handling errors. Didn't really get into that flow. Sometimes did. In patches they did. But it just shows, man, like I said, if you're not playing your best but still winning, putting 30 points on the opposition, that's good, man. That's scary for other teams. Ireland's defense really well. They obviously well connected. Wales didn't have a lot of the ball, but Ireland did well to pinpoint isolated rucks and just target them, man, and get those turnovers. I think it was a fair yellow for Byrne on that maul, obviously losing his bind and then swimming around and taking the ball carrier. There was no way you could see that ball was going to be grounded or was grounded at all. So again, another little bit of a grey area, but I get he obstructed the camera also from seeing if the ball was grounded, and he penalized. It was a professional foul of what he did to obstruct that and to obstruct the ball carrier from dotting the ball down. They were over the line. So if he didn't lose his bind and then rebind right from the side, they would have 9 out of 10 times would have scored. So, and I guess my question comes back now to, I think the penalty try is enough of a penalty. Like getting yellow carded as well is that's like a 2 penalty. That makes sense. So I feel like the penalty try is enough of a penalty. You don't need to get a yellow card as well. It happened in the Super Rugby as well. So I'm not sure. That's maybe something for World Rugby to look at. I'm not going to stand here and debate that, but I think the penalty try is enough of a penalty for the foul that was given, if that makes sense. Kicking, I feel like Ireland's kickoff receipts and exits, elite, out of this world. That many teams struggle with this. They'll score points, whether it's a try or a penalty. Then when it comes back to receiving their kickoff, they somehow either concede a penalty or lose the ball or don't kick the ball out far enough, or something happens there and then they ride on the back foot straight away. Where Ireland take that ball in, settle, maybe play 1 or 2 phases, and then Lowe is either pumping that ball out, Gibson Park is smashing it, or Crowley is booting that ball out. And it's to have those 3 options, that's great. A box kick, a right footer, and a left footer. Elite, man. It doesn't matter where you catch the ball from that receipt, you've got options across the park. Crowley, 5 out of 5. Fantastic. My standout, and I took him out of my fantasy team. I thought Joe McCarthy was great. His ball carrying is so good, man. His footwork before the line, fantastic, and gets around the park. I thought his locking partner, Byrne, also out of this world. Like, them two together complement each other nicely, where I feel like Joe McCarthy does the kind of flashy stuff, and then Byrne just gets in there, and he's the donkey worker, man. Same as that. The back row of Marnie, Van der Fleur, and Kalen Doris, man. Just workhorses. Strong as all shit. Make their tackles, hit their rucks, steal the ball, make the carries, do all of that work, man. It complements that forward pack really well. Crowley, yeah, like I said, 5 out of 5. Gibson Park, really well for me. And then James Lowe. Fantastic. He was really good. His kicks, like I said, his exits, fantastic. I think he's leading the comp in line breaks. It was 7 or 9 line breaks, meters run over the comp, over 200 meters run with ball in hand. Man, he's a weapon. He is a weapon. But 31-7, man, Ireland march on. What did you guys think of the game? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.